Dr. John Kowalski grew up in Michigan, earning an undergraduate degree and eventually a PhD in biology at Notre Dame. Kowalski was teaching at George Mason University in the D.C. area before he and his wife decided a slower pace of life might suit them better. So Kowalski came to Roanoke teaching biology and chemistry at the Roanoke Valley Governor's School for more than 20 years. Kowalski has been involved with science and engineering fairs at the state and regional level, and in 2009 he was named director at the Governor's School, where he and his staff work with gifted students. John Kowalski, welcome to the interview.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
First of all, tell me who attends Roanoke Valley Governor's School for science and technology. Is it all kids from the city?
Okay, we have students from 7 school districts who come to Governor's School. So
I did not know that.
Governor's School is unique in this area in that it's an entity where 7 school districts have gotten together and cooperate and have done so very successfully. So the school started in 1985, and we've had the same 7 school districts since then.
And are they all funding? Is that how the center is funded?
About 3/4 of the funding comes from the individual school districts. They pay a fee per student. Parents and students don't pay anything, but the school districts contribute, and about 25% of the funding comes directly from Richmond.
Oh, really? Okay.
Okay.
So do other areas of the state have places like the Governor's School where that are magnets for science and technology?
Okay. Currently there are 19 Governor's Schools in Virginia. Roanoke is one of the original 5 that came about in 1985, and it was Governor Robb's initiative at the time. And it's grown since then to 19 schools. 3 of them are all-day schools, and the rest of us are half-day schools.
Right. So these are kids, the kids are coming out of their regular school.
Correct.
Being bused over there for half a day.
Correct. They're coming, we're doing math, science, and a research elective class. Okay. And then they go back to their other school for the remainder of their curriculum and their extracurricular things.
So do you have to qualify to go to Governor's School? Do you have to have certain grades or certain majors or something?
Okay. We have a standard application form that we give out to prospective students in January. They fill that form out, and just demographic information, transcripts of their grades, standardized test scores, etc. Then each school district has its own selection committee. And the criteria each school district uses is about the same, but it varies just a little bit. So we provide the application, but the school districts review the applicants and pick who they want to send from their district, and then they send us those names.
Okay. You actually taught, John, at the Governor's School for quite a while before ascending to the top job. And you still do? Okay.
Yes, yes.
That's something you want to keep doing, keep your chops up?
Absolutely, right. I do still teach a biology class.
Okay. And so you taught for how many years before you got the top
I came
job?
to Governor's School in 1986, and I became director 5 years ago.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. You know, one of the things they talk about in this country is, you know, how to bring manufacturing back to this country. You know, and that they look at other countries and they look at the maybe a preponderance of people from kids from other countries that are studying science and technology. How do we get more kids interested in science and technology? You know, at the middle school level, let's say.
Well, I think it really needs to start at the elementary school level, where kids in elementary school tend to still be excited, and in middle school. So if you can make science interesting for them, elementary school, middle school, and get them hooked on the process, then by the time they get to high school and go on to college, hopefully they'll maintain that interest. There's been some ongoing studies done by some professors at JMU and University of Virginia, monitoring Governor's School students in Virginia and at similar schools at some other states about their interests in math and science. And the question was really, do they develop an interest when they get to Governor's School, or do they have it before they come? And in general, what they're finding is that the students already have the interest, but Governor's Schools help them maintain that interest so that when they get to college, they're still interested in a math, science, technology major.
Right. So, and I guess really that's the way you'd rather have it done, is you'd rather have them come to the Governor's School with some predisposition towards science and technology.
Absolutely. Now, keep in mind, though, that probably about 60 to 70% of our students actually end up majoring in college in science technology. The rest are doing other things. But I love to see a politician who has a science background, or an attorney or a business person who've had that strong science math background. So not every kid at governor's school is going to go on into engineering or math or science, but they do at least get that strong background.
You know, some of the kids that have gone through since you've been there, have some of them gone on to pretty notable careers?
We've seen all kinds of things. I mean, we have Air Force pilots. I just talked to a gentleman yesterday. His son is a first-year professor at Iowa State. We have a lot of people who've come back to this area, which we'd like to see. Many of them are teachers in particular, some business people. Many have gone into consulting work in Washington and various government-related sectors. So yeah, right now there's probably about 1,500 governor's school graduates, and they're scattered around the world doing all kinds of great things.
How many students are typically at the governor's school in any one semester, let's say?
We have 270 students.
Okay. You know, one of the other things, John, that they always talk about is how do you get more girls involved with science, technology, math? Is that a challenge that you face at the governor's school?
No, it's not. We have always been very close to a 50-50 ratio of boys and girls. And we have never had to, say, recruit girls. And when we look at our classes, the first couple of years, the students really don't have any choice about what classes they take. By the time they're seniors, they have some choices, but the girls are taking the same higher level math and science that the boys are taking. So it's not been an issue for us.
Talk about how you got here. You were actually in the Fairfax area.
I was in the Fairfax area. I taught at George Mason University, and about the time the first 5 governor's schools were starting up, I had some colleagues at the university level who were interested in making kind of a shift in their careers, and they had accepted positions at a couple of the other governor's schools who were looking at, in that early years, to recruit college faculty to teach college level classes to high school kids. So I was considering it, particularly with one of the other schools in an urban area. But then my wife and I were interested in leaving the Washington area and going someplace a little quiet.
Had enough of the Beltway, huh?
Yes, indeed. I was always commuting against traffic, but my wife was always commuting with traffic, so she got a little burned out. And the opportunity of Roanoke came up, and we said, well, why not? We thought we would stay here for a couple of years, and it's been over 30 now.
You know, and you studied biology, right? You have a PhD in biology.
Correct.
From
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Okay.
Go Irish.
Indeed.
You know, Virginia Tech and Carilion, they've, you know, partnered on a research institute here.
Right.
Virginia Tech campus is only 35, 40 miles away.
Correct.
Would you like to see more synergy even between a governor's school and a Virginia Tech? And, you know, do you do much now where kids get to spend the time there, or is any kind of synergy?
We've had a lot of good relationships at Virginia Tech in particular with faculty working with faculty there. Tech is a little too far for kids routinely to drive there to use their research labs.
Right.
So we've had some of that, but mostly we've had a lot of good faculty collaboration where the tech faculty are helping our faculty develop student research projects, make equipment available, provide supplies. In town, we're really fortunate now to have the new research center and Jefferson College.
Which is really growing in leaps and bounds.
There is a wonderful biochemistry lab at Jefferson College that is staffed by a full-time technician. And beginning 2 years ago, we have had anywhere from 7 to 12 of our students working with her on their research projects. They'll work in the summers and they'll work in January. And they've just opened that lab up for our kids. It's really wonderful. And we have now had a small number of kids go through the Research Institute, and that door is opening for us now, and hopefully we'll see more of that. But yeah, these 2 institutes in town are really beneficial, and we're seeing more of our kids being involved with them.
Before I let you go, how did you get interested in biology? What was it as a kid that, John, that spurred you to
You know, I don't know if I can think back pre-college or not, but certainly in college I had an interest in science and math. And I guess I was just attracted to biology. I don't know if I can pinpoint anything specific.
Wasn't like that you were pulling tadpoles out of
not
ponds
really,
or anything as a kid?
And I really was not an outdoor ecologist kind of person. I was more the molecular lab kind of person.
We're going to have to leave there. Dr. John Kowalski,
Thank you.
Roanoke Valley Governor School. Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate it.
Our guests today have been Roanoke County Police Chief Howard Hall and John Kowalski with the Roanoke Valley Governor School. I'm Gene Marrano. You can look for me in the Roanoke Star semi-weekly and listen for me on WFIR News Talk Radio. Don't forget you can watch segments of the interview online at YouTube. Just search by my name. Until next time, take care.